Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. It depends upon when you're watching this video. This video is going to be an introduction into Mr. Volkmann's flipped classroom model. Let's begin, shall we? The purpose of this video is threefold. First off, it's to show you, the student and parent, or parents, what a flipped video actually will look like as you watch them throughout the course of the school year. The second purpose of this video is to explain why I'm actually running a flipped classroom as opposed to a more traditional classroom that the majority of teachers in this school use. Finally, it's to give parents and guardians a glimpse into what students will see and do during a flipped video. So what does a flipped lesson look like? Well, first off, as a student and even a parent if you happen to see, as you're watching the video, you'll notice that all important points are bulleted. If there's something I really want my students to know and take notice of, it'll be in bullet form like this right here. Next, you're going to notice that there will be pictures throughout the video. I try to find the best pictures that will illustrate the point I'm trying to make. At times, you'll find a slide has multiple pictures. Sometimes, there will be only one. But for the most part, every picture I put on a slide has a specific reason, and it goes with the information I'm trying to give. Next, in a flip video, you're going to see me talking. And sometimes, just sometimes, I'll also be singing. So what will students actually do while they're watching the video? Well, first, you're going to be watching the video. That's pretty important. Next, you're going to have to pause the video to jot down any notes. Now, this is really important. And this is an important point that I make at the start of almost every flip video I make. And the point is this. Flip videos are not for entertainment purposes. The purpose of a flip video is to educate students, is to teach them. And as such, students need to be ready to pause the video when either I ask them to during the video or if there's something they don't understand. Also, there'll be a lot of times during a flip video where I'm going to ask them a question that I want them to think about and either answer out loud, just, to be kind of goofy, but I need them to think about it. Now, when you're normally watching an entertainment video, you're not going to pause it. You're not going to talk about, why did actually in Star Wars number 8, did the main bad guy in Star Wars number 7 die when everyone thought he was going to keep living? No, you watch the video. And when he dies, in your head you're going, oh, that was unexpected. But in a flip video, you're going to pause it. You're going to think. Also, I do want students to take notes. Now really it's up to the student as to the type of notes they take. However, I will be supplying them with two different types of outline notes. Here's an example of one of them that my 8th graders will use this year. As you notice, it's going to be split into two columns. On the left side is actually the title that I have on each slide. On the right side, they're going to jot down any main details that went with that slide. And if they go down to the very bottom of the outline, there's the opportunity then to write a brief summary, but also to write down any questions they want to ask me while they are watching the video. Another outline that I'm going to be giving out is more of a fill-in-the-blank outline, where I am going to have these words, and I'm going to be taking out different words that are in these phrases for them to fill in as they're watching. I've also had students just take their own notes and jot things down as they're watching. It's really up to the student how they want to take notes. But I have found in my experience that the students that are consistently taking notes are the students that are better prepared for the test and for the project. Now, the final thing students will do during the video is they're going to answer 3 to 4 post-video questions on the website called Edmodo. These questions are going to be used mainly for me to see if the student understands the material. Because if the student doesn't, then what I do is I work with them the very next day and I talk with that student to ensure that they understand what they watched. If a student totally gets the video, well, they can continue on with whatever I have written down on the whiteboard for the schedule that day. So why do I do a flipped classroom and not a more traditional classroom model? Well, first off, I can meet multiple needs. And as I was just talking about, what I'm able to do is I can meet with students who have shown me through the previous night's questions that they don't understand the material. I can work with them and I can help them understand the material better. But also, the students who get the material, they don't have to wait for me to meet and to re-talk over the previous night's homework. They can continue on with whatever I want for the students to accomplish that day in class. Purpose of a flipped classroom model is to give the students more activity time. As opposed to having the students in a more traditional class, having their faces in a textbook reading, or their eyes glued to the teacher, giving a lecture, or them writing down notes frantically, or answering questions in a workbook, my students should and are expected to be working on a class project throughout whatever chapter or unit we're on. And having a flipped classroom model gives the students the time they need to do that and to make a quality project. Now this point right here goes, and it totally goes with this third one, which is students are able then to apply their knowledge better. Because now they have the time to do this class project. A lot of classes give this project out at the very end of a chapter, and they're given maybe 3 to 4 class periods to work on it, plus they're expected to work on it for homework that night. Well, in my class, it's taking about 2 weeks to get through a chapter. Students have 14 to maybe 17 days to work on a class project. So as they're learning this material, say Washington State history and Native Americans in Washington State, they're able to apply it through their work in this class project. And they're meeting with me and they're showing me how they're working on the project as they're doing it. So immediately I am able to see if a student has a misconception and I can work with them. Now, the big reason, well, not the big reason, but a big reason also why I do a flipped classroom model is to cut down on homework time. I understand as a parent myself that students are busy after school. They have other commitments as well. And to expect a student to work on a homework assignment that may take 30 to 40 minutes, plus they have homework in other subjects, plus they have sports and dinner, that's not very realistic for me or fair for me to do to a student. So my hope truly is that a student will watch a 9 to 13, 15-minute video. They'll take notes on their outline. They'll answer the 3 questions, and then they're done. Hopefully it takes 15 to 20 minutes to do all of this. If it takes longer, well, then the student and I need to have a conversation maybe on how to help them cut down on that homework time. The last thing I need to say about the flip videos in my class is that you just need to watch them before you come into my class. If you come into my class with not having watched these videos either the night before or in the morning or whenever you have time, you're not prepared for my class. And as a result, you're not letting me do my job, which is to teach. Because I'm not able then to work with students who actually did the assignment before they entered my room. Now I'm making an important distinction here. You don't necessarily have to watch it that night. I've had students watch before my class. I've had students come in during lunch to watch the videos. I've had students stay after school for 15 to 20 minutes to watch the videos. There are lots of opportunities for students to watch these videos. And if you don't have the internet, then you need to talk to me. We will find a way to figure this out. Thank you for watching. About a 9-minute video or so, which is about the average time that my flip videos take. Hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully you're now prepared to be a great student in my class. And parents, hopefully you understand a little bit more about how Mr. Volkman's history class is going to go. Thank you, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.